have now reached the intersection where ideas, beliefs, and perspectives collide. So be free to be you. It's the Xrossroadz podcast with your hosts, author, speaker, and transformational strategist, Barzini, and entrepreneur, empowerment coach, and tech diva, Dre Renee. If you're ready to talk love, business, politics, and everything in between, you're in for a ride. Welcome to the Xrossroadz podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, 100 Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire and tech diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the Xrossroadz, where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you.
Is you being free to be you on today?
Yes, I'm free to be me.
So,
me who has to work out as soon as we're done with this.
You know what? I probably need to do the same thing. So drinking this liquor on the broadcast probably ain't the best thing. But you know what the best thing is right now?
What?
It is National Best Friends Day. So happy Best Friends Day, best friend.
Happy Best Friends Day to you.
Yeah. And shout out to Tweety Bird, Maisha. Happy Best Friends Day. Even though she probably ain't gonna watch this shit.
Right. Well, just know we was thinking of you.
Right. I should call her and put her on the broadcast like, hey, it's Best Friends Day. Happy Best Friends Day. Bye.
Bye. Right.
So how you feeling though? You good?
I'm good. You know, I've been doing my workouts in the morning. So the fact that today got past me and I have to do it on the tail end, I'm not too excited. But other than that,
yeah,
it's all good.
My alarm goes off at 4 a.m. Every day.
Hell no.
That's been my alarm for years though.
Well, I mean, mine's at 5, but 4 is still that's nighttime.
Well, okay, so let me say at 4 o'clock, I make a decision.
Okay. So goodness gracious.
I'm like, I can get up and do something, or it's 4 a.m. there's a conversation that happens with my body. Like, are we about to get some more rest, or are we about to get up and start getting moving? The rest has been winning for a while now, but it's still, I need to stay in the routine. So, my schedule's about to change a little bit so I can get up and get my workouts in and get this body back to zaddy status.
Hey, well,
listen,
I mean, I'm not trying to be a zaddy, but whatever the equivalent is.
Oh, hey, then pick.
It's hot tea summer or something.
Oh, listen, these IG stories about to be coming at you real fast.
Okay, well, I ain't mad.
I'm finna be back in spandex shirts and shit.
It's gonna be 1-to-1. Okay, While you doing yours, I got my little waist trainer situation thing going on. So
you know what we might need to do? We might need to do a transformation journey on the show and start posting our pics and get the audience to be our accountability partner.
Yeah, I do well when I have to show up. I mean, I'm good with self-discipline, but I've been posting on my own personal account stories like, hey, today's day, whatever, just so folks know what I'm doing. So yeah, let's see what it is.
Yeah, I got super convicted because so COVID actually presented an opportunity for me as far as my physical journey, so not having to go into the office. I was able to go to the gym and I was working out consistently in my body. I was feeling great. I was looking great. And then when I had to start going back into the office, I fell off because it was such a staunch schedule change. It was super crazy. But then, and so I kept saying I was committed to the gym. And so when I did my cleanse and I did a cleanse and a fast cleanse and prayer time. And so I got convicted. God pretty much told me, you actually weren't committed. You were consistent, but you weren't committed. And the reason that I found out that I wasn't committed is because soon as your life changed, soon as your schedule changed, you fell off. And true commitment would not have allowed that to get in the way. You would have adjusted. And I was them was fingernails on chalkboard words. I was
Well, thanks for sharing that with all of us and making us all feel the same. Yeah, you could have kept that between you and the Lord, but
hey, I'm but a vessel.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
same,
so
same. Because everybody was going up, and I
mhm,
was consistently coming down. I'm sure
mhm,
can look back at some old episodes when my face was like,
yeah.
and now I'm starting to round back out.
Mhm,
Love and the reunion of the past few months have been
mhm.
like, sis, get it together.
I
So
I
I
can't tell. Maybe because I see you all the time.
maybe. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I haven't. I'm not close to my heaviest, but because I had done so much, I can tell the difference. I definitely can. Like the way I feel,
Mhm,
the way I look may not be as drastic, but I definitely can feel it in my body. Like, okay,
mhm,
and then I definitely want to turn that around. But what you just said is not necessarily about me. What you said resonated because that definitely was it. Like as soon as he got back home, I was like, oh, let's go, do
uh-huh,
whatever. And I mean, I was with my mom during
mhm,
COVID. So it wasn't like I was alone, and I shut her down every day. Like every day
mhm.
she wanted to eat. So I was,
Right.
no, and so like just these past few months, I'm like, who am I that I
Mhm,
have, just kind of flipped. But also, and thank God for good friends, because they'll kind of
mhm,
just pat you on the back. Like last year was hard. It was hard for all of us, but I had, on top of stuff, with the deployment and everything else. And we did very well last year. And so to kind of have this moment to, just
mhm,
have a sigh of relief. I had a milestone birthday and all that kind of stuff, moved and whatnot. And so I'm just trying not to be super hard on myself. But
mhm,
what I was saying is just like having yo-yoed with my weight most of my life. Like I was super proud of myself to get to a place where I was like approaching my my high
mhm.
school weight.
Right.
And to have to lose some of that over again,
Mhm. Well, I
that
mean, but
sucks.
but the thing is, you're settling into a new life. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so what your fitness and your health journey looks like might look different in your new life. So sometimes you have to give certain things your attention more than the other so that you can get back to that thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so another thing is like when we talk about like maybe our diet or certain types of thing, it's like food is very intimate. You know what I mean? Like having a meal with someone, like breaking bread with someone is a big deal.
Hmm.
If we break bread, because like remember, deals are made, relationships are formed over meals. Like you have
Right.
business meetings, you have like the wedding dinner, like connections are made over meals. Christ himself, you
Mm.
see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Formed his final and his lasting bond with his disciples over, and that's where the term breaking bread comes from.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's not a small deal. So understanding like having we can always remember like a great meal.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so the love of your life came back from a year and a half long deployment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And y'all are about to start a new. You're getting married, so like getting reacquainted and moving into it, like all the things that you're doing. So like, don't get down on yourself for that. It's about like, okay, your life is still transforming in another area. This is your spiritual and emotional and relational transformation, and you'll get
Hmm.
back to that thing. You've done it before. You got a whole book. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Y'all check out her keto guide. It's $25. So
Yeah.
we'll put we'll get y'all that link in the description. So yeah, it's like it's about sometimes it's not that you're one of the most disciplined people I know. So I don't want you to get down on yourself about that. It's just like, okay, what that looks like probably is going to be different with your new life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I ain't got too many excuses. It's just me.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have anybody that I have to adjust around. Like even when we're shooting, it's like, hey, I gotta go, or we gotta shoot between this time and this time because I gotta cater to my man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So like, don't trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get settled into your new life, and all that stuff is gonna come. You know what I mean? So that conviction of commitment was for me. You know
Oh,
what
well,
I'm
I felt it because, like you said,
saying?
I try with the discipline. I'm like, I
Mhm.
think I allowed myself what I thought was gonna be a moment of like, you did good, girl. Go ahead and eat some pancakes. And then it was just like, oh, every Saturday
Uh-huh.
it's Pancake Saturday. No, we can't do
But
pancakes.
even okay, but the thing is, okay, if you're gonna decide though that you're gonna have Pancake Saturday, what you do Sunday through Friday is what's gonna make the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? It's like just like you do in your professional life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're currently on a 3-day work week, right? But you worked yourself up to do that. So you've told yourself, hey, okay, if I'm doing 12 to 16 hours these 3 days, that's giving me these 4 days off. But it took
Mm-hmm.
time to work that. So it's kind of like if you're doing your work week, boom, you know, hey, okay, Saturday I can have these pancakes because I didn't kill these other days.
Right.
And I've done so like getting healthy shouldn't be it's not a prison sentence. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So give yourself grace. It's okay. You know what I'm saying?
That's for all of us. We gotta give ourselves grace. Everybody.
So
Everybody get grace.
that's the transformational strategist part that of Barzini, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Let's give
saying?
ourselves grace.
Give yourself grace. It's okay. You know what I mean? We can be hard on ourselves sometimes, but it's just about getting
Yeah.
back to that because I know when you're in the groove and you're disciplined in that area, you're good and you'll get back to that space. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, this is week 2. We're so
Yeah.
follow me. Last week. Well, last week was incorporating the consistent workouts again, like at a higher level, not
Mhm.
just doing something. And then this week is focusing on meals and water. Water
Yeah.
is our friend. I
What? Okay.
don't
So
have that intimate relationship with water, but I'm doing my best.
yeah, I do. I have an intimate relationship with water. I need to be drinking some because transparently, I am faded right now.
Well, you sound good to be, where
I'm
you
not.
are.
I am not sober. Like it's
Yeah, okay.
these past few weeks at work have been a bitch. We still got to shoot. Listen. This is and who drink? This is vodka, apple juice, and Red Bull. I don't even know why. I've literally never drank this combination of things, but I don't even drink apple juice like that.
Well, I will say today's recording is going to be fun, I'm sure. It is going to be fun.
So y'all forgive me for whatever the fuck I say today on today.
On today.
on today. So look, okay, first of all, let's pay some bills.
Yes.
As usual, this episode of the Xrossroadz podcast is brought to you by the House of 334.
It's the house.
So for all your business branding and copyright needs, go to houseof334.com, and also brought to you by Carbon 12 Clothing. That is CRBNTWLV.com. That is Carbon 12 without the vowels, if you didn't know, for all your fashion needs. Yeah. So the bills are paid.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching. And not only are the bills paid, but if y'all want to assist additionally with paying the bills,
you want to pay some bills.
If you want to pay some bills, you can donate to the Xrossroadz podcast. Y'all listen, it's not free to do this. It's not free. There's a time investment, but there's also a monetary investment that we sacrifice to bring you the content that we bring. So you can go to bit.ly/the Xrossroadz. That's XROSSROADZ, and donate whatever God puts on your heart.
And the link will be down below in YouTube or any of the description boxes. Check for the link.
Yes, help us out. Listen, look, it could be a few cents. It can be a couple of dollars. Every little bit helps, y'all. And we appreciate y'all. So thank y'all for those who have donated, those who continue to donate. And we're gonna make
we might need to look into that little membership little model that
and I know people have, maybe we need to do bonus content on a Patreon or something.
Something. Well, we're gonna figure it out. Right now we've been here for the love, but
but look, love costs. I always remember the movie South Central,
Yes.
And when he was in jail and he was talking about what happened to him, and he's talking to the old dude.
Oh,
and
I know.
And he goes, all I was doing was trying to help out my homeboy. And old dude, he was knitting the kufi. He goes, well, helping's costly.
Oh, shout out to old boy. I can't remember. Carl Lumley, I think is his.
Glenn Plummer. Glenn Plummer was the main character. And then the old dude.
Yeah. Helping's costly.
Yeah. When he was talking about, listen, I'll quote that movie. He was like, so I took their lives. 3 of them. And now I'm in here for life, man.
Oh God.
Wait, hold up. I love this part. Like, this a man, Buddha. He a man. And ain't nobody punking no man. He's like, Buddha. He's like, Buddha, do you or do you not recognize this a man standing here?
Oh, you did. Yeah, look at you.
Oh, you know, hold up. Then Buddha goes, yeah. I know he's a man. Look, I told y'all I'm not.
I love that movie.
So if y'all ain't seen South Central, y'all got it, because I'll say I quote that movie all day.
OG Bobby Johnson.
He got a new house for Ray Ray. New car for Ray Ray.
And
he got that little listen. Loco, you couldn't tell Loco he wasn't getting swole, right?
He was pumping a little thing or something.
Right. He got a new house for Ray Ray.
Oh God.
Yeah, he even got your boy working for him.
Okay, you guys are getting like, this is for real life. National Best Friends Day. This is what we do.
This is what we do.
Quote movies. Okay, so you want it, you got it.
One day I'm gonna give y'all one of my favorite monologues. Remember Glory?
Oh shit!
That scene. This is a funny. It's supposed to be serious, but the shit was funny when Morgan Freeman slapped the shit out of Denzel. I think he slapped the shit out when he was calling me a nigga. He's like, what are you? So full of hate you want to go out and fight everybody because you've been whipped and chased by hounds. Well, that might not be living, but it sure as hell ain't dying. And dying's what these white boys been doing for going on 3 years now. Dying by the thousands. Dying for you, fool. I know because I dug their graves. And all the time I'm digging, I'm asking myself, when, oh Lord, is going to be our time. Well, time is coming. We going to have to ante up and kick in like men. Like men. You watch who you call a nigga. Any niggas around here, it's you. Smart mouth, stupid ass, swamp running nigga. You ain't careful. That's all you ever gonna be.
Shout out to Morgan Freeman.
Listen, I don't know. And fun fact, Morgan Freeman was born 68 years old.
I believe it.
Listen, Morgan Freeman did not come off the womb crying. He was like, well, I think it's time to go on and live my life. Morgan Freeman was born in Shawshank. He was red already.
Yeah.
His first words was Andy Dufresne, my friend.
Oh gosh!
All right, so we actually
I love that movie.
We do this every damn week. We be having topics and shit to talk about, but we can't never get to it until we do our best friend thing. What we got for the fuck this week? Do we got something?
I don't know. I was scrolling through, so
I know I sent you something.
Every week we send each other memes and posts about all the things that men just cannot do.
Wait, what last time we couldn't lay in the goddamn we couldn't have a big bed. I think that's the last.
Have a big bed. Yeah, that was the last thing. But this one you sent me was I don't know who wrote it, but it says most won't like this, some will, but it's fact. Donald Trump was not liked by liberals because he represents masculinity, and he said and did what he wanted. It's supposed to be whether you liked him or not, you made money. And
wait, let me guess.
and
He said rather, didn't he? Rather you like.
Whether you liked him or not. First of all, I hate that, but whether you liked him or not. So when you sent this to me, it was the caption was the entire fuck.
So. Oh yeah. So that was somebody on my timeline that wrote that. That wasn't even a meme. That was somebody's actual
status.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So masculinity is doing whatever you want. That's pretty fucking dangerous.
Right?
Like, especially when you are the leader of the free world. I do not think that was masculinity. I do not think that Donald Trump was a man. I think he's a poor excuse for a human being, let alone a man. You know, and I am actually relieved that social media has silenced him and extended the same courtesies that he has for so many other people in silencing their voices. We don't have to get into Trump. Fuck Trump. That's
you
know what I'm saying? Like, I wish death on no man, but I will not shed a tear. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, shout out to him being silent, like you said, or silenced.
Right, because we if we know him like he know him. And it's crazy how the whole party turned on him, right? Like, you have served your purpose, because and that's just politics, especially on the right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you're not that guy. It's God and country, and they gonna support their party, period. And I think on the left, I think I don't know if that's the problem or that's the different. I don't know what to call it, but the liberals are more like just all over the place. And because I guess it's more of a free thinking, progressive, whatever. And I think that's why we can't come together, because we all have such different ideologies on the left. Where on the right, it's just this. Like, they very few are ever going to deviate from the plan and the platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether they see it benefits them or not, blah, 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 blah. God, country, like whoever it is that is representing our platform, we are behind it, period. You see what I'm saying? Regardless, that's what it is. And that's why they win, is because they're going to support it regardless. Now, there's a sect of people who are going to vote for the left regardless, but then there's also a faction of people who, I don't know, like you had the people who were anti-Obama or anti-Biden or anti, like, whatever, you know, and I'm a vote. People on the right don't vote third party if they don't agree. Like, they may not agree, but it's like, we're still going to be in power. So I'm going either way. So yeah, but I think Trump was such an asshole. It was an easy win for it. Is it me, or does it feel like we don't even have a president right now?
I mean, based on what we were used to the president doing, or, you know, the person in office doing, yeah, it's so different, right? It's like, it's quiet. You're like,
yeah, it's super. Maybe
is anybody there?
It's back to like when Bush was, before social media was like huge. We heard from Bush when he was fucking up, but then there was Obama, who actually mobilized people via social media, and he was very visible. You know what I'm saying? Obama was very visible. You know what I'm saying? And so was Michelle. And then Trump was just Twitter fingers, you know what I'm saying, all over the place. And then we get Uncle Joe, and it's he's like, I don't know how to use this shit. you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so he's just like, yeah.
or all the angles are upward.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my Lord.
So yeah.
Like, oh, people, get the camera out your face. Everything is here in the wrong angle.
Like, I gotta teach my daddy, like when my daddy be posting, he'll never post without a picture. He posts statuses with pictures. I'm like, Dad, you don't need the picture for the status. Just post the status. Like, people post a picture and then talk about the picture. No, he doesn't. He'll post a status and the picture ain't got shit to do with what he's talking about.
Well, I will say, and maybe he's cracked the code, like that's what gets people's attention. Because just when you write, I mean, unless people really want to read what you have going on, people stop for pictures. So generally, when I have something really poignant to say, I will post a picture of myself. And like, I try to post like the nicest picture, but I can tell that people focus on the photo because I'll have 100, 200 likes. And then, you know, I'm like, did anybody even read what I wrote? Which the answer is yes, but not as many people that are paying attention to the photo.
Well, you know
I think it's still funny that he does that because I'm sure he's not thinking,
about that. He don't know about analytics and shit because he'll call me like, how do I do the thing with the
well, he had me wishing him a happy birthday and 2 months after I'd already wished him a happy birthday. I was like, is it?
I thought I just no. So you know what? I'm gonna try the picture thing and post something, but I don't know. People read my posts for some reason, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, if people are used to reading it, or you know, whether it's controversial, whether they're just interested or whatever, that's different. But I think you have to posting a picture or a video is going to get people at least to pause, because they see something
the image,
different than just words.
But I think you have to earn, especially like on Facebook, you have to earn that attention from people with just a text. You know what I'm saying? Like I think when people get used to like when I post, I'm either gonna post something thought-provoking or funny, right? And I think I post just enough funny stuff so when I hit you with something thought-provoking, like you still stop and so I think I had got to the point to where even if I post something long, people still read it. You know what I mean? And I think there's a certain art to that, or a strategy to that, or maybe a methodology rather. But I think as more platforms have popped up, it's because people's attention spans have shortened over time. Which is like the IG phenomenon before, like, because when IG first came out, it was just pictures. And then you had the ability to do video, which people was like, oh, Vine is going, and even Vine was like, you had 6 seconds to do what you did. And then IG came with the videos, and I think they were 15 seconds. So it's like you can do video on IG where people already were, and now you can do a longer. And people's like, oh my God, 15 seconds. And then, then Vine was going after that. And then all of a sudden now you can do a minute, and then here comes IGTV, and it's whatever, And so, because IG exists to capture people with images and or video, Facebook is like, now it's crazy because like my kids were like, Facebook is for old people. And I'm like, damn, has Facebook been out that long?
They've been saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I like Facebook.
Me too. Yeah. Well, that's because it was made for us, or with us in mind. At the time it was, we might have been just past the age, of college kids, but it was still, kind of our group. Right. And, so we kind of grew up with Facebook. And these kids are coming into something that's already established. It's, it's being used for so many different things. When I teach, tech courses, I always talk about the fact that, Facebook is like, for the grandchild all the way up to the, in some cases, like great grandparents, everybody and their mama literally is on Facebook. And then every other social media platform is probably geared toward a specific, demographic. But there, it could be anybody and everybody.
Because I'd love to be on Twitter. I don't get Twitter.
I love Twitter because you can just fire off. I say what I have to say, and I'm done. Now sometimes I get upset because I might have a longer thought, which is when I'll take it to Facebook. But now Twitter has threads, so you can tweet after tweet after tweet and have them all connected, so somebody could just read off all of your thoughts if they all go together.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a Twitter crash course, because I've had it for years. Like I literally have like all of the original domains for like the platforms. Like on MySpace I was Barzini, on until that kind of crashed, you had to do it over. But Facebook I'm Barzini. Twitter I'm Barzini. You know what I'm saying? You have some other Barzinis on there, but I have the handle. Like I am the original Twitter
what's
Barzini.
hard about Twitter?
I don't know. It's
280 characters, and you just type.
the tweet and the retweets and all that other shit. Like, I mean, I can just go in and say shit and leave it alone, and whoever the fuck reads it. But I'm talking about like if you're trying to follow and who's saying what and who did they say it to, and okay, well, what's that? And was they talking to them or what? I don't. Yeah.
Well, it's clearer now. Back in the day, with retweets, it could be confusing because hashtag, but we were kind of searching our previous Twitter history. And so he sent me something from like 2010, 2011, something like that. And yeah, back in the day, you had to put RT, which was retweet of the person. And that could be 2 or 3 layers deep. So it would say RT Barzini, whatever you said, RT. At the time, I'm Little Girl Blue, whatever I said, or and so it's like, oh, I have to follow it back up. Now they have like chat bubbles,
okay,
right? So they call them quotes now. So you'll see your stuff with your picture here, and then my response to it is above it. So it looks a lot different. It's a lot cleaner than it used to look.
I probably need to go do a Twitter scrub because Lord knows what the fuck I've said.
Yeah. I had to switch handles because I was like, hopefully don't nobody even remember what now I just said it, but it used to be because we were just having fun, folks are just saying.
Listen, I might host the Academy Awards one day, and here come a tweet, and I'm on the news apologizing.
My goodness.
I was a different person back then.
And texts. Oh, that's really what we're here to talk about.
That's what we're here to talk about. So, y'all, our subject today, 30 fucking minutes later.
But we here.
Well, we here, and I'm not sober. We're talking textationships. Ooh, the infamous texting in a relationship. Like, can you start a relationship or maintain a relationship via text? That is the question. Yay or nay? What you think? What's your?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't think that is ideal for everyone, but it's not impossible. It's just like, we talked about long distance relationships, which for many, it goes hand in hand. When you're in a long distance relationship, by default, you're in a textationship because that's one of the few ways that you have to communicate.
But okay, but the difference for you, would you say, okay, you were in the relationship, right? And I know a lot of the elements, there was deployment involved and stuff like that. But from rip, we were not in the same. Move. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was.
We starting off with the success story. So we got a whole engagement from texting. God damn it. Listen.
Now, look, don't try to plant your flag on my relationship because we were
because you are listen, because you already know where I'm going. Yes. This gonna be an easy one today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, I am but one story. Okay.
I am on record saying I will text the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But women be lying though. Why y'all be lying?
About what?
About texting. Like, I think it's cool to say I prefer talking. Don't text me and and I'm like, I be texting y'all motherfuckers all the time. Like,
well, it's not that we don't want to text. It's that you don't just want text because there are so many things that are unsaid, or can't necessarily be, you can't be sure of via text. And so I think that assurance piece is missing for a lot of people. I actually just posted it. So our phone anniversary, I don't know what we don't even call it.
Text anniversary.
Yeah. So we had been texting for quite some time, for, a couple months, maybe 6 weeks or so. And, at that point in time, I was just like, well, we don't really talk on the phone. And, I'm a text person, but I was just like, I wonder why we don't talk on the phone. And so I was like, back and forth in my own head about what does that mean. I'm like, well, people don't really like the phone, because that's the stuff you hear, I don't really like the phone, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, as I felt like, okay, we are connecting and we're getting along. I now that I'm this is years ago, I don't know what I made that mean for myself, but I feel like it meant something like, can we have this conversation and it still be the same as, as a text? That might have been, kind of what it was. Cause I'll just, and this is Frank. And if he ever hears this, he'll know I don't think I've ever said this to him, but I was at the beginning, I was trying to figure out, I had wasted so much time in the previous.
Bloopers. I am not editing that out.
No, it's okay. It's nothing to edit out. It's okay. Y'all seen something fall before. But I was really trying to figure out as fast as I could if I was, sewing into the right space, because I was just like, if there's anything that I need to know, I need to try to figure this out as soon as possible, versus years and years happening. And not necessarily that if the phone didn't happen, it wouldn't have been, but that was the mind frame I was in. So I just posted this at this point, it's probably about a week or two ago. It was May 30th, good old 2015. And I was twisting my hair and we were, texting or whatever. And so I texted him and I was just like, look, I'm twisting my hair and sipping. I was drinking at the time or whatever. And I was like,
got liquid courage.
If you want to, chat or whatever, give me a call or something like that. It was real. That was the last text. And then that was like at midnight or something. And then the next text was like the next day at 11, because we had talked for something like 3 hours or something like that. Now, his side of it was like, he knew what it was when he gets the text, like, okay, I guess this is the test.
Yeah. Let me go on a call.
Am I going to call or no?
Right.
But yeah, not really. And even to this day, not a phone person. I could count on one hand, in a month, how many times he picks up the phone or answers the phone, for that matter, to talk to somebody. Most of the time he is here or not. He could really even do without his phone. So that's a thing that, some people are just not phone people. But again, knowing the type of person he is and that kind of integrity, it's different to just text somebody versus if you're with someone or you're getting to know somebody and you think they could have a whole ass relationship or family. And that's why they're not, it's a different thing. So it's not necessarily texting. I think it's the lack of trust that people have.
But I think all that existed before tech, because I think just with every advent in technology comes a new insecurity, right? Because and we switch it because, okay, before we even had, I remember when I first started texting, right? So we would talk on the phone, and then cell phones were a thing, and we were always talking because we have a cell phone and we had access, and then it's like, oh, let me call you after 7 when my minutes is free and all this other shit. So we were buying cell phones to talk to people and weren't limited to only talking to you at a landline. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the pager, and it's like, and then we were trying to text through, like, send little messages through the paper. So it was like, okay, how can we increase the speed of communication? That's what it was. Right? Because if you think, okay, writing letters took longer than talking on the phone. And so when we're young, we're on the phone all night, and call us on three-way, and then party lines and all this other stuff. We're increasing. So I don't think it was about intimacy. It's about increasing the speed of communication. Okay. And so then we went from pagers to, okay, now we got the cell phones, and then we went from cell phones to the two-way pager, right? Because even the pagers, we had alphanumeric where you can leave the actual message. Now I can see what you're trying to say without having to call you back. Just tell me the message. And no one was ever saying, don't send me an alphanumeric page. Nobody said that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so then,
but that wasn't but you were still talking on the phone.
But sometimes you didn't have to talk on the phone because you could actually just send the message. When you have the alphanumeric pager, you call in and you send the message, and then it just pops up on your pager what needs to be said.
But was that the only way you were communicating? I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying That wasn't
it wasn't the
only
only way, but it wasn't a complaint that and sometimes even like come on, even text, it's not the only way you're communicating. It's probably the primary, but it's not the only. And some people talking about, oh, I want to talk more than text. But then okay, so we went from alphanumeric to two ways, right? And now yeah, so you had the time and you was a baller if you had the time port, and then you was bootleg if you had to talk about, right? And so, but you two-way, and and then was, oh, what ringtone you got? You sharing ringtones and shit like that. And so people weren't talking. Like, fuck us. If you had a cell phone and a two-way, you was probably a drug dealer. But it's like you had,
real talk.
Right. And so then you went from that to the sidekick to where it was a phone and a two. I had a sidekick and a two. I had all the shit, all the technology, right?
Okay.
And so then the flip phones came out. Now I remember I had this Verizon flip, and then I figured out I can text because we didn't call it texting. And I was like, what's this T9? And I was like, oh shit, I can two-way from my phone. That's what I said. I remember. Matter of fact, I was at SC in the parking lot after step practice, and I realized I could send a message. I was like, hey nigga, I can two-way because it wasn't called texting yet. It was two-way. Mm-hmm. Right. So I was like, I can two-way from my phone. Damn. I was like, hey, look, I can two-way from my phone. But
and chirp.
Right. And then so then the next step came out. Now you chirping. And now you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I first got a chirp, I didn't know how to chirp. And it was Damon, as a matter of fact. So you're supposed to send a signal and wait for someone to respond. I didn't know that. I just be like, hey, yeah. Hey, nigga, whoop, 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 whoop. And I remember he was like, nigga, I'm at work. You supposed to alert somebody. I didn't know the rules.
Just happy to be involved.
Listen, hey, bro.
And he like this.
Right.
We're trying to turn your shit off.
Listen, I gotta call him up right now because he was like, nigga, you can't just you posted. He's like, that's what the chirp is for. I was like, oh, my bad.
Well, call me back.
Yeah. Right. And I'm still just talking. So, but there was always a progression. And I think the rules are always aligned to the technology. You see what I mean? And so I don't think it's about, oh, I hate texting. I think because we have the ability to text and it's easy. Now we want, you know what I'm saying? Because, okay, like when two-ways came out, people were like, don't call me, just two-way me. Because we wanted to use that device. We wanted to use the technology that was available. And so now.
And so do we still with texting. It's literally that relationship. That's why I said it's about trust, or it could be about trust, because between friends, I've never heard anybody say, don't text me, call me. I mean, if it's your birthday, and even with that, some days I'm like, is it impersonal to text somebody happy birthday? I mean, we're on Facebook and all these things that are even what reminds you it's somebody's birthday. Half of the time, is it appropriate to send a text, or is this the day you got to call and all that kind of stuff? So, but generally friends don't do that to each other. It's literally in these romantic relationships that you are finding, and when I say folks, women, primarily that are, I mean, because I just I've not heard a man ever say, don't text me.
Don't text me. Yeah.
I've not heard it. So
shit, if we can get away with not talking, that's what the fuck we are going to do.
Yeah. So I mean, the more that we've talked about you guys' communication style, it definitely serves you better.
Right.
Than for a woman. I mean, now, and most people that communicate with me know I am queen of the voice note, right? Like I'm not typing all that out. I'm hitting the button and I'm gonna send you what I and a few of them if necessary.
Oh yeah, you gonna because before I can hit one, it's like five. Like you've just talked for 5 minutes. Because at that point, I'm like, you could have just fucking called me.
Well, yes, but I think one thing that I do understand about text and I appreciate, which is why I like another tool it's a more of a walkie-talkie than they're not paying this, so I'm not giving them any shine.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it's another app that I like that leaves recorded messages and whatnot, because I do feel like, you know, what I have to say at any given time may be urgent, but what you're doing on the other side might be more urgent than what it is that I have to say. So I appreciate the ability to be able to let off and let go what I have to say, or so that I don't forget, because I could be doing 1,000,001 things and I have a thought like, oh shoot, let me send so and so a message, so that when it applies, it's already there and I can go on. So convenience, right? I think that it's a great thing. But again, when we start talking about getting to know somebody to the point where you are building intimacy and trust and whatnot, do women feel that this is the best way to do that? And the majority of them that we are seeing are saying no. Now, again, in some of our other situations, me included, that is primarily what you had. You know, if overseas where there was no cell service, then, you know, we talked every now and again. It was mostly text. Even when he was stateside, you know, if we're talking during the day, yeah, somebody's at work, that's how you communicate, is via text. So it suffices. But if you're in a situation with somebody where that, again, like that's pretty much the only way that you communicate, and there is another way to do so, that raises people's antennas. Like, well, why don't you ever call? Or why?
So this, okay, it begs the question, because I really don't think it's about communication. I don't even think it's about intimacy. If you think about it, I think it's more about effort, right? Because like you said, you alluded to earlier, you were like, you said specifically it's in these romantic situations. We don't complain about it during friendships. We never say, oh my God, we never talk on the phone. Like,
some people do.
Yeah.
So
like, okay, some people do. But okay, let's take you and I. We communicate on every medium. We typically, you and I, we communicate on the medium that's available for whatever we're doing at the time. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm at work, so you might shoot me a text. If it's like short, you'll shoot me a text. If you have a longer thought, you'll do voice message. If we need to like really debrief, we'll jump on video chat or on, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we don't think about it. We just, okay, whatever. Right. And so I think about, like, there is nothing that can't be said on the phone that can't be said via text, like from a literal standpoint, right? If you can say it, you can write it. We've seen, and so the thing is, you have people who have developed whole friendships and become very fast friends and close friends via social media, have never met in person. That's right? True. Have not maybe talked on
internet auntie.
Right. Yeah. I've got really close friends that I have literally never met in person to this day. And we've known each other for years, going back to Casodius. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we have a whole friendship and never met in person. You know what I'm saying? And so there are a few phone conversations, but the majority of the communication has been via text or inbox, and the few phone conversations, you know what I'm saying? And may or may not have a couple of times like video chat, you know what I'm saying? And so if you can have whole and very healthy friendships, why is a relationship different? And I think, granted, okay, the intimacy piece and kind of like really seeing people in motion or hearing someone, I get that part, but just like, it just baseline, just communication, right? And by communication, I'm saying conveying whatever message that you're trying to convey. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's good morning, maybe it's, I think it's funny how paragraph, whatever.
And that's what it is. You guys like, just type it. I'll get to it later. I don't want to hear the shit.
But, and so, okay, so now there's pros and cons, and we were discussing that in pre-production, right? Like the pros and cons for texting. So the cons, people are talking about things get lost in translation. You can't hear someone's tone.
It's a way to avoid conflict.
Because
you can just not text back. You can block people. You can,
but you can do that.
And we're talking phone versus text. We're not taking into account being in person, because that's another thing too, right? Like actually going on a date or actually meeting somewhere face to face versus a text. And I think that makes more sense because if you're on the phone and somebody starts going whatever, you can hang up. But if provided you're not going to do something like that, like if you're the type like, okay, that's rude to hang up in somebody's face, you literally have to.
You can't even hang up in someone's face effectively anymore. Like cell phones have ruined the art of hanging up on somebody.
Oh yeah, there's
just a dead signal. You don't hear. Like for y'all millennials and folks who've never used a landline phone or a rotary dial phone, you don't know the power of hanging up on somebody until you can slam the phone down because they hear that shit and then they get a dial tone after that. And not only is it the dial tone, no, it's not even a straight dial tone. You get the 3 bounce and then the doom doom doom.
Oh shit!
And, like some of them don't even know what
phone before.
Oh, I've definitely been hung up on before. Mostly by my daddy though. Like. So I can't have no ice cream. You know how kids used to call their parent up at work. Daddy, can I is it okay if I click do? No, click. I didn't really have women hanging up on me like that. It was always my damn parents hanging up on me because I was always asking for some shit. But
it's an avoidance. You have the ability where you can control the conversation. If you don't want to take it any further, you do not respond.
You have clearly not dated a woman. Y'all don't give up. Because not only I think it's more control because not only do you like you can't get away from responding, especially like when you have read receipts, right? Oh, I know you see my message.
In that moment, if you do not want to respond, you do not have to respond. I give you that in that moment. Yeah, will she persist? Yes. Is the argument over? Hell no. But you can shut it down if you want to.
Or maybe you need to process. Maybe you need to process and formulate your thought. Because that's an advantage. Like, okay, let me say what I really want to say without being interrupted too. Because when like all that back and forth and interrupting shit, it's like, okay, I can pause, I can read, I can process, and I can respond, right? And so
that was actually listed as, well, I don't know if it was a pro or a con, but it was is no interruption. Like the fact that you can complete a full thought, which for some people can come as like 5 or 6 different texts, but you can air out,
especially if you're on an Android.
Hey,
listen.
Team Droid. But you
I'm
can
Team Droid too. Look.
Oh, okay.
You already know I can't stand. Let me not.
You can let somebody. I know we are Team Droid. We'll just leave it at that. But you can absolutely, say everything that you have to say without having to pause for somebody's interaction. I mean, or their response to what you have to say.
Or reading their face when you're saying what they're saying and rolling their eyes and
that can be very freeing. But for the person on the other side, I mean, I haven't experienced it before. It could be overwhelming. Somebody's just barrage of thoughts and texts. It's like, well, damn, yeah. So,
okay, consider this because this literally just popped in my head. So, we were having a discussion and we saw the meme about like a woman not being able to control her mouth is the same as a man not being able to control his hands when they're angry. Remember that meme, and you tagged me in it. And I've said for years, a woman's mouth is the equivalent to a man's hands. Because we use what we're stronger with. Like men are physically stronger, so we usually express ourselves when we're upset with our hands, right? Not necessarily just towards women, but we use our hands to protect ourselves. We use our hands to protect others. We use it when we're angry, or we can use it to build or protect, or you know what I mean, like whatever, right? We're physical. Whereas a woman's strength is her words. She can build you up or she can cut you with her words, the same as a man's hands, right? So I'm wondering, and this literally just came to me, do women really hate text more because it weakens them in communication, in the sense that because it is your words that is your strength, right? Like verbal, that's, you know what I'm saying, you're usually quick-witted, like those. And so now it's like you can still do it via text, but it's not the same as speaking verbally. So now we've taken, and let me not say a weapon, it could be a weapon, but also a tool. You know what I'm saying? That is where you are stronger than men, right? That is what you use more than men. We're usually very linear. And okay, I'm talking about this thing or this thought, and y'all are, but this, and we like, wait, where are you? Like, and we're trying to, you know what I'm saying? And very few men can keep up with that or compete, right? And so I'm wondering maybe if that's a thing, because naturally you want to communicate verbally, like right now in the moment, and express what you said I'm saying, and because your primary is emotion, and I want to express that or receive that or hear that or process that or whatever it is. Do you think that could be a thing? Because via text, it eliminates a lot of that. Like you can't feel what I'm trying to say. You can't hear it. You can't hear the inflection. You can't get this work because this is via text. Pick up the phone.
That reminds me of Cadillac Records when Muddy Waters is standing in the booth, and what is it, Howlin'?
The wolf.
Yeah, and
he hear me.
Oh, he hear me.
He hear me.
Yeah.
I guarantee he hear me.
That's exactly. Oh, you know what's coming at you.
But no, when Lil Walter, when he pulled that gun out, he's like, "Here you go." Like, he's like, "Nah." First of all, hey, shout out to Columbus Show, because he played that goddamn role.
Yes, he did.
When that's what I had no business being that pretty, no way. You gonna be my white daddy? You my white daddy?
Shout it out.
Walter.
Walter.
Now, surely you know that ain't the name my mama gave me. Now, like, sound it out. Walter.
That's my movie. Okay.
Hey, listen.
But yes, I believe what you're saying. There's a level to that. But I also feel the reverse, that, you know, because those words are coming fast and furious, even if it is, you know, by text, I think a lot of the times that's when the shutdown happens. So I don't think we have a problem with letting it fly. We have a problem when the return is
you don't know how it landed.
There it is.
You're losing the effectiveness of it.
There it is. Oh no, we know how to deploy it.
Yeah. Hold up. It's almost like you ain't gonna answer. Send the drones. Like,
yeah, no, it's out there.
All right,
and fellas, we know you got it.
Listen, you heard it first here on the Crossroads. We have broken the code. This is yes. Text it is. Let's go.
Yeah,
she's like, so you ain't gonna wait, hold on. What Kevin Hart say? Wow. So, because look, okay, if you go to that skit and What Now, when he was talking about women will have a whole conversation with themselves via text and you're not even responding. So you just not gonna say nothing? Wow. Oh no, don't ever text me again. Don't contact me. Wow, you really not gonna contact me? You really don't even come home then.
Right.
Wow, you really not about to come home?
Oh, you enjoying this a little bit too much. I think we talked about this on the live, right? Like, you know, nobody likes to be ignored.
Correct. It's not helping that I'm not sober right now.
Yeah.
Because all I hear in my head,
good old time.
Wow, you. I'm insufferable right now. Okay, let me bring it back so we can be professional.
I don't know about professional, but just, you know, we having a good time. It's all good.
Okay, hold up. That's my professional face.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was waiting because I didn't.
You don't know what's going on. Yeah, I was trying to. Okay, yeah.
Woo, shout out anybody that's listening to this audio only and you don't have the visuals.
Yeah.
You might want to boogie on over
to YouTube.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Nah.
So we talked about avoiding conflict as a con. Another one that was mentioned was this: it makes lying easier.
I don't get that. I'm like, if you're gonna lie, you're gonna lie. Like, how do you lie easier via text than verbally? I think it's more strategic to lie via text. It's not easier because you got to think about that shit. Okay, no, don't say that. Because there's receipts, and if you don't say the right thing, she can always refer back to it. Whereas,
but also you could say, "I'm at the house" via text, and you could be. If you were on the phone, I'm like, "Are you outside?"
You can say that.
I mean,
it's just as easy on the phone.
Oh, well, when you lie, I guess it doesn't matter. But you gotta really think about it.
I may have told a liar or two of my time because it's like, like, dude, listen, men standing. Here's the thing, and I might be giving up the game, right? Men and women do support each other's bullshit. I don't care what nobody says. Women more so than men. And the crazy part is, y'all will eat a nigga alive. No, because y'all will eat a nigga alive when we say we support the homies. Oh, y'all just gonna, but y'all support y'all homegirls and y'all will coach y'all homegirls through some bullshit.
I don't know about y'all.
Girl, say that. Like, we not gonna help a nigga, but like, so if we somewhere and we all around, blah, 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 and the nigga girl call, hey, shh. We gonna shut it down from, hey, nigga, be quiet. This is girl. Right? Because if anybody knows anything, and Kev Hart, he said this in one of his specials. He
know about
shots fired. But any man knows this. When you are out without your woman, you cannot let her hear fun. You cannot. It's bad.
Hashtag boo. You can have fun.
Whatever. So listen.
Have a good time.
You can, because if she hears fun, I don't know what it is. It's like, is it bad because he having fun without her, or if like, oh, you don't be sounding that happy when you out? I don't know what it is, but when she hears fun, like, okay, for instance, true fucking story. One of my childhood friends, right? He flew out here for business. We went out, we catching up. Like, we've known each other since we was 14, 15 years old, right? Like, my dad is his dad. And we out and we catching up so much. He's like, bro, I should just change my flight and just stay the night out here so we can finish catching up, because we having a great time. We out the bar, we eating wings, we having some beers, catching up, right? And he was like, I'm gonna call the wife and just see, you know what I'm saying, if I can just fly out at noon tomorrow and just stay the night out here, because he worked for the airline, so you know it wasn't a thing. Right. And so it was like, okay, I was like, bet. I was like, but go call her from the parking lot, don't call her from in here, it's too loud. This nigga didn't listen. He's heading to the parking lot, but he calls as he's going out there, and guess what she hears? Fun. He come back, I'm like, what did she say? She said, I'm gonna call him John. She's like, whatever, John. I was like, let's go on ahead to the airport, bro. It's over. Like, I told you to call from the parking lot.
But I don't know. I'm not refuting that. I'm sure somebody's like that, but I'm just like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Okay,
you're at the bar. No. Let me not say. It's not that it doesn't make sense what you're saying. I just don't understand why anybody wouldn't want the person that they love to have fun unless they're involved.
Right. It sounds crazy.
Okay.
But
unless, like you said, unless they don't ever have, like, if she's not allowed to do anything or he doesn't take her anywhere, and then, he's out.
She can go out all the time. She always out with her. And men, not all, men generally leave you the hell alone, because we're like, oh, you going out with your girls? Oh, like, listen, we get to watch sports, masturbate, just do all kind of. Look, if y'all never saw Seriously Funny, watch Kevin Hart Seriously Funny in this segment when he talks about what men do when you're going. He was like, all the filth that happens when you go. We gonna watch porn. We gonna jack off. We gonna watch sports. We go whatever, right? While y'all out with your girls at brunch ordering fucking mimosas and extra guacamole. You know what I'm saying? Stay like generally, dude. It's like stay out as long as you want with your girls. We don't give a fuck. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you going out? Okay, cool. You don't want to know what time I'm coming back? Shit, you live here. The fuck, like you coming back eventually. You got a key, right?
Wow.
But when we go out, who you going out with? Where y'all going? What time you coming back? Who gonna be there? Mm-hmm. And then the calls. You know, like I'm like somebody close to me. I'm not even gonna say who it is. I just remember it was my birthday, and this person came out. And we hanging out, having a grand old time. We had dinner. Now we out for drinks with the friends and everything else. And the texts are just coming through. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, your daughter's throwing up. He's like, what you want me to do? Right. Like if I come home, she's still gonna be throwing up. And you're a nurse.
Does she have a flu? Does she have a fever?
But what is he going to do? She's still gonna have it when he gets there. Oh, well, if you're not gonna come home, just stay out all night. Like, damn, he don't get out. And right. To where he's just like, I gotta go. Because it's like every time he's out, it's always a thing. And I've just
then that's different. That's different. But I mean, yes, even if he comes home, she's still gonna be throwing up. But that's the difference between, you know, having somebody there to like, I don't do vomit. I don't even do my own vomit. I don't know how I'm gonna raise a kid. Like I literally throw up with my eyes closed. Like hopefully I make it in the toilet bowl because I don't want to see it. Right. So I don't know how that's
what are you gonna do if you see it? Throw up more?
Yeah, I think so. It's repulsive. And it just triggers more.
I hate not being able to breathe.
It's the most vile thing. So maybe she needs support. I don't know if it's their first kid. I don't know if it's a baby. No.
It wasn't the first kid, and it wasn't the first time when he's out. It's a thing.
Well, yeah, you always have these. I don't know
I experienced who they married. Yeah, but I experienced it in my own relationship. It's like when I'm out. Like, okay, another story. I'm out, right? Mind you, I had been home alone all day. She was at home. She was sick, whatever, which is why we weren't together. You at home with the flu. We had been communicating all day, like, hey, how you doing, whatever. So I'm like, hey, I'm going out with my friends, whatever. Or I went to like a homegirl's house or something like that. Now you need shit. Oh, when you leave there, can you bring me some soup? No. Or can you stop at a Pollo Loco? It's fucking 12 o'clock at night. You know good and goddamn well El Pollo Loco's not open.
Do y'all have that out there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just recently, but yeah, they have it out here. But it wasn't out here. It was when I was.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, can you stop? Now you want me to bring you like you trying to control what I'm doing, who I'm with, blah blah blah. I'm like, I've literally been home all day, and you ain't needed shit. I'm like, just go to sleep. What the fuck you need soup at 12 o'clock at night? Just go to sleep. Like, does that make any sense?
No.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, now that I'm out, you need shit. When I could have, you don't live that far. I could have gone to the store, got all this shit, El Pollo Loco open, all the shit all day. But now that I'm out and you know females is around, now you need shit. Now you calling.
Well, then, and we're back at square one. This is all about trust or lack there. That's all it is.
Or insecurity.
Or insecurity, which is it not all woven together? I do not trust, even if I'm
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Not trustworthy, but
because you cannot be insecure. Okay, let's say like it's new, right? Like I don't know you to trust you. Like we're trying to get to know each other,
right?
So maybe the trust isn't there yet. That's one thing. We fucking together. You see what I'm saying? And now that's just insecure. And I'm like really?
It's hard because I don't want to tell people why they should feel how they should feel. But, you know, are people insecure for no reason? Sometimes.
Maybe not
But
for I won't say people are insecure for. There's always a reason. Just that reason may not have anything to do with you.
right. Okay. So within themselves, are they solely insecure because of something that has nothing to do with you? Sometimes. But there are a lot of situations where the other partner, just because I don't want to say men versus women, there's a lot of times where the other partner has done something, said something, whatever, and acts like they have no clue why their partner would be reacting in a particular way.
Sometimes we don't. Like, okay, almost any dude can relate to this shit. And I'm generalizing like a motherfucker right now.
Okay.
That you get mad, not you, but his woman get mad, and he's like, what? Or why I'm mad, or why I don't trust you. And I'm like, no, I don't. Oh, you know what you did. Like, and we sit here like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it could be some shit like, oh, you don't remember that thing that you said about that picture on the back of the cereal box with that woman on there? How can I trust you? And you say, like, what the fuck did I say? I just say, what? It's crazy shit. Like, yeah. If you've ever been with a woman that be making up shit, and this could just be trauma speaking right now because I've lived it. Like, ladies, I'm sorry if I'm putting you in this box based on my experience, but goddamn it, y'all be coming up with some shit.
Well, and I can't disagree with that, right. But it normally is just like you're having a moment of trauma. It's normally the same response, right? And
I get it.
Where it comes out isn't necessarily where it derived from,
right? Like okay, like the bobby pin, right? Yeah. So I get it.
Or more so, like hearing iPhone alert. To this day, it's not even him. Just to hear it, we could be in the freaking mall or pre-COVID. You could be anywhere.
Is that why you team Android?
Yeah. If I hear that, I am like instantly transported back to a time like,
damn.
I have to remind myself that I am not there and it has nothing to do with me. But it's one of the most awful feelings to even have that. And like, sometimes you're either not necessarily not aware, but it happens without your permission. Like, why am I even still upset about this or feel any kind of way about this? So, and we've talked about trauma and bitterness and kind of blaming people for things that they haven't healed from. And it's kind of the same thing. And it sucks because nobody deserves, if you're newly into a situation and, kind of bringing us back to text, it's not your fault that sending a text send somebody off the deep end. I'm not saying that, but like, that's where these real conversations need to happen. And when you're in a brand new relationship or just dating, I don't know if that's the space because then you can run somebody off. But, you definitely want to leave room for the fact that, somebody's not just crazy. They're dealing with something that they have not resolved.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder, like, is it really, is it to your point, like what you just outlined? I just don't feel like it's really about text. It's not text. It's not the medium. That's the problem. I think it's the past. It's the lens. It's the baggage. It's the insecurity. It's the past action maybe with that person. It could
what
be
other people are saying too.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have all these memes about how, real relationships, or you can't have a real relationship if you text. So there's all of that.
Or that, like, and this is, I'm sorry, ladies, but this shit is just so dumb to me. Like, oh, don't text me WID. Who the fuck cares? You know what it means. Like, what, literally, okay, what is the difference if I text you WID or if I call you and say, hey, what are you doing?
Well, I think, again, it's what we have allowed it
to become like,
you're right. What it
because I feel like one person
on...
saying it and it just adopted it. Now everyone's, oh, if you text me, like even when you on the dating apps and people like, oh, if you text me WID, I'm immediately unmatching. That's fucking stupid.
Or that's like HBD, I guess, which is apparently happy.
Right. Like as many fucking like, but you'll be like, oh, don't text me WID or I'm gonna unmatch you. LOL.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, ma'am. And it's like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we try to add logic to it where it does not exist. That is not even remotely logical. Like I'm literally saying, you know what it means, but you're so concerned with how something, you know what it means, how it's said. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, knock it the fuck off and grow the fuck up.
Yeah, certain stuff like that's silly. You know, that's absolutely silly. I think WID at 2 a.m, right? Like there were certain parameters around WID, right? Or you haven't talked to somebody and then they pop up, in your text at 1 and 2 a.m. with WID. That there's a lens that you're reading that through. Like, oh
yeah, but I mean,
right?
that's some like nigga, you can't even say hi for the last 3 weeks and all of a sudden you pop in the that I get, but it's like they literally just hate the acronym WID.
Oh yeah,
for what? Like, like why?
Well, I guess people are talking about effort. I think you mentioned it earlier on. I don't know if we got into it,
but but it's not a lack of effort when you'll use every other acronym. If you use an LOL, LMAO, fucking HBD, whatever we use acronyms all the time in text. SMH, like all of this shit. We use all of that. But that one's lazy. Don't.
Yeah.
So if I type WID or I type out the words, what are you doing? The fuck is the difference?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see a difference. Like I said, the only thing that I had ever heard adverse reaction to was, you trying to pop up or using that as your opener at this, kind of weird time of night.
Now I'll say this. I can't stand hey stranger. That
hey,
shit. Hey big head, whatever. But hey stranger, because it's indicative. Like I was supposed to be hitting you up, because my response is always, I always say I'm not strange. Well, like as long as you haven't heard from me, that means I haven't fucking heard from you either. Just say hi, thinking about you, how you been. But all that hey stranger, because like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ooh, y'all Barzinis airing all y'all out today. I don't know who it is.
It's a lot of y'all. Like, don't hit me with if you want a positive response, and sometimes I'll even be an ass and be like, now how am I supposed to respond to that? Like, do you think that's about to elicit a positive response from me? Instead of saying, hey, thought about you, haven't heard from you, we haven't talked in a while. Right. Hey, how you doing? Because you don't know what's been going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the fuck I've been going through. Now to hear, hey, stranger, it's like, you haven't hit me up. Well, motherfucker, guess what? You ain't hitting me up either.
Lord have mercy.
Motherfucker. So.
Well.
That's the liquor.
How you really feel.
You know, a drunk mind speaks sober thought. So while I might not have said this sober, I fucking mean it. God damn it. Don't hit me with, hey, stranger.
Good child.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing a segment, Barzini's drunk thoughts. I'm gonna get fucked up and then just turn the camera on and see how it goes.
Hey, hashtag who would be for it? Well, not for real. He would be for you doing it. He wouldn't.
He ain't going. He wouldn't do that shit.
Not on camera. Not on camera.
Right. He look,
He almost got on just last week on accident, and he was like, the mic was on.
Y'all, okay, so let me explain what happened last week, y'all.
He was like,
listen,
the Xrossroadz podcast was the victim of a hot mic. So during our live, we go live once a month, and Dre was out of town, so her signal wasn't going to be how it is when she's at home. So I had to. She normally does the controls for the podcast. I don't. So during the countdown, I had us logged into the studio where our mics were on and the audience can hear us rather than bringing us in after the countdown. So we were having a whole ass conversation, not knowing everyone can hear everything we were saying. And the short version is, let's just say we said some things that we would not want the general public to hear. So
thank y'all for being late.
Yeah. Oh, because normally y'all be right there, and it just so happened this time y'all were not present on time. So we was,
because I looked for comments. I was looking for somebody to ring the phone, text, like
yeah, it was
literal nothing.
Let's just say it wasn't catastrophic, but let's just say it wasn't a good look.
Yeah, all you guys was watching or getting ready for, I think you're probably watching the playoffs or something, because it was very odd to not have, anybody going, wait,
because she was like, did you have, I was like, I don't know, my bad.
And this is like 5 seconds, right? Like I'm finally sitting down. So I had my headphones on. I was walking around, I think I was trying to, last minute get dressed. And so my camera wasn't on, but again, the mics are on. So when I finally sat down and I'm like, looking, it's like 10, 9, 8. And I'm like, are we already on? And he's like, shit, what?
I was like, I think so. I just hit the buttons you told me to hit.
I'm like, oh my God, this whole time?
Listen, she had recorded a whole webinar for me to learn the controls and like you do this and you do this, and I don't know if I remembered that part. It was a lot to ingest.
He did all the steps. He just did it out of order, because the last thing to do is to bring us in the studio, and he brought us in when he started the countdown, and I was like, "Are we already? Hello." And it was. Meanwhile, #Boo has come in for. I mean, he wasn't on camera, but he was letting his thoughts be known about something.
And for those who know #Boo in real life, y'all know some of the shit he says.
I was like, "Oh God, we gotta edit."
Yeah.
So the first 10 minutes of the live for June has been.
Yeah, because
y'all don't need to know us like that. Some people do, but
if you didn't catch it, you missed it. So
you did miss it,
right? So let's put a bow on this. What are your final thoughts for Textationships?
Yeah, so I feel like we say this at least once a week, right? Like, what works in your relationships and your friendships and interactions is what works. If texting is all you can do or all that you want to do, rock that out. I am a fan of written words, so text works for me. It's also something to be able to go back into time and, read different messages, providing they're good ones, right? We talked a lot about like arguments, but the fact that I was able to pull a text, right, that I just talked about from the beginning of my relationship, or before I even had a relationship, like those things, that's special to be able to do that as a words person. So it's not all bad. There are opportunities for you to make those very special memories from those texts. I will say that, yes, there are some cons, if you will, or some hard spaces that exist trying to either build a relationship or to navigate hard spaces in an existing relationship. It can get hard when you are solely relying or primarily relying on text. Even when you know somebody, definitely when you don't, but even when you know somebody, you can read things into, and you've heard that phrase before, like reading into somebody's statement, or vice versa. Like, it's actually devoid of any emotion and it's just words. And so it's like, well, what does this mean? Are you saying this with any kind of feeling? Is this cold-hearted? That can be very hard. So whatever it is that you decide to do, if you're building a relationship, if you are in an ongoing relationship, do what needs to be done to nurture that relationship. If text is your primary communication and you can talk every now and again, make those moments very, very special, so that, the time that you are texting, you don't hang things on the text that aren't meant for that. Right? Like sometimes we just like, okay, negative feeling. But if, you know, and love languages too matter, right? If you need your love tank filled, you know, with this kind of voice to voice or being actually in person, make those moments very, very special so that text can just be text. Because I think like we talked about, it's not really texting, because in other parts of our lives, we actually celebrate it, right? Like get to the damn point, send me a text, right? But when it comes to our, you know, our relationships, we always want to feel special, and maybe texting all the time doesn't make somebody feel as special as they want to feel. So
right. No, I get it.
That's that.
My final thoughts, I echo that, but at the same time, it's like in other areas of life, we often say don't allow media to control the narrative. And so when it comes to text via or versus talk, like we allow social media to control the narrative because again, we create templates, right? Because we can look at social media and we may not have been thinking about this thing at all. And then we see something like, oh yeah, don't text me WID or like, and that's not even like, who the fuck cares? You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, do what works for you. If the communication is there, and don't allow yourself to subconsciously develop insecurities based on something that doesn't exist because you want to control. Because at the end of the day, it's about control, and control comes as a result of not wanting to get played and be hurt, right? And so we say, well, if he's doing this, then it means this, and it doesn't. Like he can call you every fucking day, every hour on the hour, and still be on some bullshit. Or he can text you and not talk often and be completely on the up and up. You know what I mean? This doesn't always mean that. And we try to make it mean that to protect ourselves and then still end up getting hurt. You see what I'm saying? You know, and so it's like cultivate that relationship, create the intimacy for yourself, create you know, compromises and crossroads, you know, to meet each other where you need. So it may be like, hey, you know, I know you like texting, but I like talking. So I don't need you to call me all the time, but I need you to call me more than you do. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, and I'll like my compromise is I'll accept text more than I do. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's the balance? What's the, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's like, no, I can't stand talking on the fucking phone because I can be doing something else. It's not productive for me to be sitting on the phone. And then I see you and then you want to talk about more shit or talk about the shit that we just talked about on the phone. Now in person, we can talk at length for hours or whatever. I don't want to do that on the phone.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'd much rather see your face. I'd much rather be in your presence. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to sit in front of each other and text each other. Yeah. So that's convenient. Well, maybe some people do. I don't know. But, you know, I'm like a save something for later. Like, if I'm always talking to you all the time, we're going to run out of shit to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it's like people will talk on the phone all day and then see each other and just be sitting there. You know, and so I'm like, do what works for you. Compromise within one another, like Dre just said. And stop allowing social media and other people to incept you and influence your narrative, and a narrative that doesn't even exist, but you make it real by accepting it. So that's my final thoughts. Yeah. Well, y'all, that has been another week here on the inebriated, well, at least me, Crossroads. I don't know how this is gonna come out or sound. I'm gonna have to go listen to the playback on this one. For real. But we love y'all. We thank y'all. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for always tuning in to us. Thank you for your thoughts and your contributions that just make this thing go. And important, we always want to say, remember, be free to be you. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
We want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and register for our email list for more episodes and projects from your hosts, Barzini and Dre Renee. Until next time, this has been the Xrossroadz Podcast. And remember, be free to be you.